everybody, Ace Liam here, and welcome back to Metromania. It's the grand final of the 14th season of Metromania. We have seen Pokemon Masters from around the world and evil antagonists making their way through week by week to get to this point. And we now have two finalists. Cynthia and Archie are going to go 1-on-1, technically 6-on-6, to find out who is your Season 14 Metromania champion. So here we go. It's good versus evil as Archie sends out Crawdaunt, which is meant to be Sharpedo, but it's not in the game, and Mightyena to start, and of course Cynthia starting with Milotic and Spiritomb. Two of her bulkier mons, but quite a lot of Cynthia's mons are quite bulky, to be honest. Quite a lot of Archie's mons are pretty hard hitting as well. Here's a Hydro Pump with same type attack bonus behind it, doing big damage there to Archie's Crawdaunt from the get-go. Cynthia's Milotic means business, but so does Archie's Mightyena, starting off with Confuse Ray into Spiritomb there. Spiritomb is the last thing to move on the field because it's the slowest Pokemon, but it will also have to suffer potential confusion damage going forward. We see Cross Poison coming out from Archie's Crawdaunt. Doesn't do a lot of well, it does a decent chunk of damage to Milotic, but doesn't get that all-important poison. Here is Spiritomb hitting itself in confusion, though, so that's an unfortunate start for Cynthia's Spiritomb, but we have Quiver Dance coming out from Milotic. Up goes its special attack, special defense, and speed by one stage apiece. This Milotic already showed with the Hydro Pump turn 1 that it's dangerous, but now it's become even more scary and threatening. Here's Charm, though, from Mightyena. So after the Intimidate at the start of the battle and that Charm, Cynthia's Spiritomb is now sitting at -3 attack already. Crawdaunt on Archie's side goes for Spit Up, but that fails because it hasn't stockpiled anything. Remember, you gotta stockpile before you can spit, you know, or swallow. There's a joke there, probably. I'm not going to make it. Spiritomb snaps out of confusion, goes for the Dragon Pulse. Imagine hitting yourself once in confusion and then getting out of it. That never happens. Here's Giga Drain, though, super effective with the double up into Crawdaunt there. So Milotic takes down Crawdaunt, and already we have a knockout in this Metromania Grand Final. Crawdaunt is down. At the end of this turn, Archie will get to bring something in, but for the time being, his Mightyena is a sitting duck. And as it goes for Inferno into Milotic there, and Milotic, it's got a critical hit from the Inferno, of course, and there's the burn. So Milotic now has its physical attack stat halved. I cannot remember which ability we gave Milotic, so if it's Marvel Scale, it's going to be very interesting. Spiritomb hides underwater. Let me have a look at my notes real quick. As Milotic takes that burn damage, we'll get to find out what Archie's sending out next, and it's going to be Tatsugiri entering the field there. So we'll see what Tatsugiri can do going forward. Here's Milotic once again with Moonlight. Going to restore its HP back up to maximum. Increase its longevity. Cynthia's Milotic has Marvel Scale, so its defense is incredibly boosted right now. Just like my sub count needs incredibly boosting. So hit the subscribe button. Turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode of anything that I upload to this channel. WTF is coming back soon. I absolutely promise you that. Guaranteed. Confuse Ray avoided by the Spiritomb that's underground. Did Mightyena try and confuse Spiritomb for the second time with the same move? And there is the dive, doing a little bit of chip damage to Mightyena, but at -3 attack, the Spiritomb is basically par for the course. It needs to focus on special attacks or status conditions. Wonder Room, though, from Milotic is going to swap the defense and special defense stats of all the Pokemon. Don't ask me how that works with a burned Marvel Scale Milotic. It's very confusing. Future Sight into the Spiritomb shot. Tatsugiri is optimistic that Spiritomb will not be there for very long. And Mightyena on the Archie side is going to go for Heat Wave into both opponents there. Barely any damage, though. Not very effective at all on Milotic, especially with the +1 special defense boost. Here's Spiritomb now going for Round. There you go, special attack into Mightyena there. Little bit of chip damage, slowly wearing away at Mightyena as Milotic takes that burn damage and then once again charges up its metronome, selecting its move, goes for Rapid Spin into Tatsugiri, which is going to give Milotic another +1 speed boost, so it's now at +2, and Tatsugiri gets the opportunity to attack and goes for Stealth Rock. That will be quite detrimental for Cynthia if there are a lot of switches and whatnot going forward. So Cynthia's got to be very, very careful not to select things like U-turn, flip turn, teleport, that old chestnut. We have Judgment coming out from Mightyena. It doesn't affect Spiritomb, though, so Spiritomb is just chilling right now. Because remember, for Judgment to have a type, I think you got to hold a plate. So you can't use it on ghost types if there's no plate. Vice Grip, though, from Spiritomb into Tatsugiri for a little bit of chip damage there. Again, you know, the -3 attack really detrimental for Spiritomb. We get Weather Ball coming out from Milotic with +1 special attack. No weather in play, though, so it is only 50 base power, but still does a great chunk of damage there to Archie's Mightyena. Fair play to Mightyena for hanging on as long as it has. Endeavor does not affect Spiritomb as it's a normal type move, so Tatsugiri's turn is wasted there. And now Mightyena once again on the attack with Horn Attack, but it's into the Spiritomb, so it has no effect. A completely wasted turn by the Archie side there. Here comes Cynthia Spiritomb now with Avalanche into Mightyena there, but not as effective as it could have been because I think you have to be damaged by Avalanche to get more damage out of it. You have to be damaged by the person you're targeting, the Pokemon you're targeting. Spiritomb, of course, ignores that Future Sight attack because it's a Dark type, so too optimistic on the Tatsugiri's part. Hold back from Milotic doesn't do a great deal of damage there at all to Tatsugiri, who now looks to retaliate. Goes for Misty Terrain, trying to avoid those status conditions. It's not the worst idea in the world. And of course, that will not heal the burn of the Milotic. It will only prevent further status conditions from affecting other Pokemon on the field. Here we see Attack Order from Mightyena. That worked very, very well last week, but it did not do as well this week against a defense-boosted Milotic. And here we have Endeavor from Spiritomb there, showing Tatsugiri just how it's done, bringing Tatsugiri down to the same HP as Spiritomb there. As we... Oh, that was a little selection turn that was left in there. Look at that. A cute little edit. And here is Milotic now going for Fairy Wind into Tatsugiri for massive damage there. Super effective. And, of course, +1 special attack. Tatsugiri responds with Moonlight, though. It says, I don't care about your Fairy Wind. I'm going to restore my HP right back up to where it was before. Don't you worry, mate. And now Mightyena has an opportunity to follow up on that great move and goes for Dragon Dance. Going to increase its speed by 1 stage and its attack by 1 stage. It definitely could do with that because it's in a bit of a dangerous situation. I mean, it already outspeeds Spiritomb, though. I'm not sure it outspeeds Milotic at this point, though. Here's a Magma Storm from Spiritomb, though, into Mightyena, and now Mightyena outspeeds nothing as it's knocked out and will take no further part in this battle. Great play there by Spiritomb. It's not got a great attack stat right now, but it could still make itself useful in this battle with things like Magma Storm. Here comes Muk now to pick up the slack where its team is lacking, and we have Milotic now going for a Rock Smash into Muk. Not very effective damage, barely any damage at all. Critical hit though, and even then just tickled the Muk and didn't even get the stat drop. That's unfortunate. We see Baby Doll Eyes coming out from Tatsugiri, going to lower the physical attack stat of Milotic even further. Milotic's sitting there on 50 hit points and burned right now as Muk goes for a Rain Dance. That's going to power up Water-type moves, and it's going to reduce the power of Fire-type moves and various other effects like making Hurricane 100% accurate and Thunder. Here's Moonlight, though, from the Spiritomb there. Going to restore its HP right back up to maximum, even with the rain lowering the power of Moonlight, I'm pretty sure there. Pretty sure Moonlight is like a quarter healing when it's raining. Here's Hydro Steam in the rain, though, powered up by the rain that Muk brought in. Muk now at less than half its max HP already because of that beautiful move by Milotic there. And now we have Tatsugiri going for a Nasty Plot. A Tatsugiri with Nasty Plot is a dangerous Tatsugiri indeed. It is nothing to scoff at. Here comes Muk, though, ready for its team, and it's going to go for Bubble Beam, which will also be rain boosted, into Spiritomb, but Spiritomb, of course, quite a bulky Pokemon, eats that right up and doesn't mind a speed drop because it's the slowest thing on the field. Speaking of, here comes Spiritomb right now, who's going to go for Waterfall, also boosted by the rain, but sadly for Spiritomb, reduced by the 3 stages of negative attack. Oh dear. And there's the burn for Milotic. Notice it's taking 10 damage every burn, so it's got about 3 turns left in it, including this one where it's used Guard Swap on Tatsugiri. All changes to its defense and special defense have been swapped with Tatsugiri. I can't actually remember the defense and special defense changes that they've had, actually, like in terms of stat boost and not Marvel scale. Absorb from Tatsugiri, getting a little bit of HP back from Spiritomb there, but not a great deal of damage dealt. As we see now, Muk is going to follow up. Can it do something more substantial? Goes for Play Rough, but it's avoided by Spiritomb. That would have been super effective as well, so that's really unfortunate for Archie there. As we see Spiritomb goes for a Sacred Sword into Tatsugiri. It's just got no attack stat at the moment. It's just absolute garbo at this point. Milotic has 2 turns left if that burn does not go away. So unless there's like an aromatherapy or a sparkling aria, you know, Milotic's going to be sitting on the bench in a little bit. Goes for Power Trick. Again, swaps its attack and defense. I have no idea how I think the Marvel Scale boosts its new defense stat, not its, you know what I mean? But here's a Chloroblast taking out Spiritomb from Tatsugiri. What a great play that was. And now half its HP goes away. Poor little Tatsugiri suffering right there. And here comes Muk, who's going to go for Alluring Voice into Milotic there. Milotic is going to fall to the burn damage there. So fantastic play by Muk. A lot happened in this turn. My bloody word. That was incredible. Here comes Arboliva for Cynthia's side. She also needs to bring out a second Pokemon. She's going to bring out Gastrodon. Still the wrong Gastrodon color, but it's fine. And there's the Pointed Stones, the Stealth Rocks, damaging both Cynthia's Pokemon as they enter the field there. But Archie finally making some headway as we see Kowtow Cleave come out from Tatsugiri into Gastrodon for a decent chunk of damage for a physical attack from a Tatsugiri. And here comes Muk with Upper Hand, but of course there's no priority moves able to be used in that way in this battle, so Upper Hand will never work. So why is it in the pool of Metronome uses? I guess maybe it would work if one of the opponents had... No, it wouldn't, because they go first. I have no idea. Yeah, it just can't work. There's the Mortal Spin. Indulge me, if you will, while I take a moment to talk about my bloody favourite drink. And no, it's not tea, even though I'm so British. It's blooming G Fuel, isn't it, lads? G Fuel is a wonderful energy formula with barely any calories, zero sugar, and a whole heap of wonderful flavours, like the absolutely wonderful Tekken Rage Drive that I'm drinking today. That is the Cantaloupe flavour. It's bloody lovely. It tastes like cantaloupe, which is still a fruit I've never had in real life, but I know now I really like that flavour. Cheers for that, G Fuel. You've broadening my horizons. The best part is that when you head to gfuel.com and buy yourself some lovely G Fuel, you can save yourself 20% off your order using our channel's code ACE. That'll save you 20%, save you a fifth off your order, and also will support the channel directly. And it's honestly the best way you can support this channel. So, you know, thanks in advance. You're helping keep the lights on. You're helping keep the dogs fed. I really, really, really appreciate it. The channel wouldn't have lasted this long if it weren't for the lovely people at G Fuel and the lovely people in our lovely audience ordering the lovely G Fuel using the lovely code ACE. Oh, that really is bloody divine. Like, one of these days, I'm going to actually try a cantaloupe, and this is the reason. This has made me want to try fruit. That is insane. Remember though, G Fuel is for over 18s only because it contains caffeine, and children don't need to be anywhere near caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead, dickhead. And the battle rages on as Dondozo enters the field, wanting revenge for Tatsugiri there. Muk's going to start off the turn, though, and he's going to go for Fickle Beam. And it is going to be the all-out version of Fickle Beam. That's like 120 base power. Sadly for Muk, it doesn't have the special attack to really do much about that. But that does activate Arboliva's Seed Sower. So Seed Sower is going to cause the grassy terrain, which will heal everybody that's grounded at the end of each turn, which is everybody, even though Dondozo's floating. Don't ask me. You know, Pokemon going to Pokemon. Cross Poison into Dondozo, though. Not a great deal of damage from Gastrodon. But here's a scratch. Speaking of not a great deal of damage, although Muk is now in the danger zone thanks to Arboliva. I guess same type of attack bonus on that scratch. And we have Quiver Dance. Mate, our Chaladon basically said, look, if you're going to take away my commander boost because Tatsugiri's off the field, I'm going to make my own commander boost. I'm going to raise my own speed, special attack, and special defense by 1 stage apiece. And just bear with me and I'll get powered up as everybody takes a little bit of grassy terrain heal in there to finish up this turn and just to extend the runtime of the battle, I guess. Cheers, Arboliva. Appreciate. Here's Strength now from Dondozo into Arboliva there. I think I said Arboliva. It's Arboliva, Liam, because it's Spanish. Olive is... Yeah, that's the one. There's the Pain Split. So Muk going to use a bit of Arboliva's HP to restore its own. And Arboliva goes for Psychic. Is it into the Muk? It is into the Muk, and that's enough to take Muk down. Muk is a goner, and Archie, would you believe, is down to his last 2 Pokemon. It's going to be Weezing and Dondozo versus the world here, as we have Gastrodon following up with a Play Nice, going to lower the attack stat of Dondozo by 1 stage. So basically, turnabout's fair play. You raise your special attack stat, we'll lower your physical attack stat. It's a nice trade, for sure. It's really detrimental for Dondozo because it doesn't have great special attack, even at +1. And now its physical prowess is reduced. Here's Weezing joining the field, though, as Dondozo gets itself ready. And Dondozo is going to go for Sleep Powder. But it's avoided by Gastrodon. I was curious as to whether it was avoided by Gastrodon or it was going to say it doesn't affect Arboliva, but avoided by Gastrodon there. Low kick from Weezing, though, into Gastrodon. But Gastrodon, of course, is not known for its heavy weight, so it doesn't do a great deal of damage. Teleport from Arboliva, going to switch itself out of the battle. And this is the beauty of teleport, you know. Just switch yourself out, bring an ally in, like a big, scary Garchomp. Cynthia's signature. Mate, we couldn't have had a battle without Garchomp in here, right? And now Gastrodon is going to go for Glaive Rush, Shades of Baxcalibur here into Weezing. That is going to leave Gastrodon vulnerable until it next gets to attack. It's going to give it half defense until the next time it attacks. I'm pretty sure that's how Glaive Rush works. Here's Garchomp now. As it enters the fray, goes for Last Resort. That is going to fail because you've not used all your moves, mate. That's very, very silly. What a silly Billy. And here's Dondozo now. Can it capitalize on that mistake? Goes for a Vine Whip. It's going to be neutral damage into Garchomp, but at -1, it just does not do a great deal of damage. As Weezing now, what will it do? Goes for Poison Tail into Garchomp. Can it land the all-important poison? It does not. That's really unfortunate there. And here comes Gastrodon now with Dragon Dance. Gastrodon going to raise its speed by 1 stage and its physical attack 1 stage. Gastrodon means business. Gastrodon does not want to mess around here as we see everybody getting their healing. As we proceed to the next turn, we have Garchomp ready and raring to go. And it's going to go for Glaciate into both the opponents there. That is going to lower their speed by 1 stage apiece, I believe. Not very effective on Dondozo there, but there is the speed drop, dropping it back down to neutral. And Weezing, of course, goes to -1. You may have noticed Weezing is the only Pokemon not getting Grassy Terrain healing, and that's purely because it's levitating. So it's not a grounded Pokemon. Here we see that Aqua Step, though, raising the speed of Gastrodon by another stage there. And the attack boost paying a little bit there, letting it do a little bit more damage. False Swipe from Dondozo, never going to knock anyone out, but chipping away at Garchomp as it goes. Sweet Kiss from Weezing is going to land and confuse Cynthia's Garchomp, so it is at risk of hitting itself in confusion. That's not where you want to be at this stage of the finals. There's 3 minutes left in the finals, so Archie really needs to kick it into high gear. He's got 4 Pokemon to defeat, and they're no mean feat. The Grassy Terrain is gone, so no more healing for Dondozo or anyone on Cynthia's team. But a stroke of luck as Garchomp hits itself. We really need the big guns here for Archie. Otherwise, I don't know how he's going to be able to achieve this, but stranger things have happened. Triple arrows from Gastrodon isn't enough to take down Weezing, but it is enough to drop its defense, of course. And now we have Dondozo ready and raring to go. Dondozo is going to go for Soft Boil, but its HP is full. Thanks to the Grassy Terrain, so a wasted turn. You can't afford turns like that now. Here comes Archie's Weezing, though, going for a Kowtow Cleave into Gastrodon. It's barely any damage. It's nowhere near causing Gastrodon any problems. Here comes Garchomp now, though. It's going to ignore the confusion. This is looking great for Cynthia right now. Goes for a Fire Punch into Weezing. It's Dondozo versus the world right now. There are 4 Pokemon, about 2 minutes left on the clock, and 4 Pokemon for Dondozo to defeat. I don't believe it's impossible, but it's going to be difficult. Rock Blast, though, avoided by Dondozo there, so Gastrodon's turn is wasted. This is the opportunity Dondozo needs. Honestly, Ice-type moves will be your friend right now. Gastrodon or Grass-type moves. Gastrodon taking the quick attack. Garchomp is going to ignore the confusion. And, snap out of the confusion, go for Sweet Kiss, but it's not going to land. You're not going to be able to confuse Dondozo at this stage of the game. But now Gastrodon gets to follow up. This is really bad for Archie. Wild Charge is super effective, though. Big chunk of damage to Dondozo. It's not enough to knock it out. But it's all going to be, can Cynthia take down this Dondozo and make it an emphatic win? Or is it going to go to timer? Dondozo goes for Ingrain, which honestly is more of a detriment than anything at this stage because it's just more time wasted as you take the healing turns. 46 seconds now left on the clock. After the little edit to skip the move selection. Here's Smackdown into Dondozo from the Garchomp. Not a great deal of damage once again. Gastrodon is going to go for an Electro Shot. Shades of Archaladon there. Going to raise its special attack by 1 stage. And on the next turn, it's going to unleash an electric attack into Dondozo. What's Dondozo going to do here? It needs like a Power Whip or a Razor Leaf or something. Goes for Noble Roar. Going to lower that special attack right back down, as well as the attack stat of Gastrodon back to neutral. So Gastrodon back to neutral stats. Not sure the Electro Shot can probably do it from neutral. Maybe at +1 it could have done. I don't know the calcs. Here's a Temper Flare from Garchomp, though, into Dondozo. And is the battle even going to happen? Gastrodon gets to do the Electro Shot, but I don't know if anyone else is going to get to use a move there. It doesn't take down Dondozo. Oh, no. We were just in time selecting moves, apparently. So Dondozo is going to go for a String Shot as its last move. How underwhelming is that? So this has been an absolute domination here by Cynthia, but Dondozo does have the pride of saying it lasted until the very end. It just didn't have the team behind it. So fair play, commiserations to Archie. Cynthia is your Season 14 Metromania champion. Her team was just too tough for all comers, and she clawed the victory. So well done. This is how we got there. Cynthia atop her rightful place as champion. What a great season! The next season will be coming in December. Maybe I'll do it sooner if we hit like X amount of members or something. Maybe if we get like 3,000 members by the summer, maybe I'll do a sooner one. Who knows? What I do know is I want to say a massive thank you to our Ace Trainer Ultra XL members: Pro Metapod, Purple Dragonair, Toy Bonnie, Gear Overlord, Mumbai Cobra, Night Angel, Gamer Guy Mike, Cap Rider, Blue Malamute, and Bogey Taker. Thank you for your massive support on the channel. Remember guys, use code ACE for 20% off G Fuel. And until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.